Sorry that I'm a little bit late, but as most of you have probably noticed, life is a bit different these days. But we'll be getting to the game very, very soon. We're already loading up. Um, exactly when the loading screen comes up, I'll grab a beer. I actually wanted to have all this started before I started the stream, but yeah, again, life is challenging sometimes. I hope you're all doing well. We're going to continue building Fishburg from yesterday. See if we can't hit another milestone or two. Maybe start the ore industry, a small one. We'll look what happens when we get there. I hope you're all doing well. And of course, yes, city skylines. Everything linked. Just to make sure, yes, everything's still disabled. What? Coast to coast radio? Nah, I don't need that. Yeah, exactly. Load game, Fishburg. And while this is loading, I'll go grab a beer quick. Maybe you should do the same. I'll be right back. So, there's my beer. Cheers. I needed that. But on the subject of life being complicated, how have you people been dealing with lockdown? Is there even a lockdown where you are? Let me know. This will be a 3 or 4 hour stream. At least that's the plan. So let's see how far we get. And again, this is a continuation of the build series that started yesterday with the new Sunset Harbor DLC, Fishburg. Yeah, since tomorrow's Sunday, I should be a little bit freer with my time. I may start the stream half an hour or an hour later, though. And then, of course, you won't have to live through this dumbass loading screen that takes forever. the bane of some Cities Skylines players, especially those with low amounts of RAM and or really potato computers. I mean, I only have an 8350 FX with 32 gigs of RAM, so I have a potato computer. But yeah, some people, you can go full potato too. The 32 gigs of RAM are with all the DLCs. As soon as you start working with mods, they actually become more or less essential. Otherwise, it just becomes a slideshow. And here we are, back in Fishburg. Beautiful little Fishburg. So, where were we yesterday? Well, right here, obviously. We had a fishing industry that I think was overall doing reasonably well. Yeah. What exactly was I looking at? Yeah, I remember. Thank you. Brain is still a little bit fried from being among people. That's not always a good idea. Not enough buyers for products, so that means we're actually, well, that means one of a few things, or possibly a few things. One, not enough population. Two, not enough industry. Sorry about that. Three, not enough export. Okay, but those are things we can take care of. No biggie. The question is, which one of those do we want to start on? Was there anything that we had just gotten with the new milestone? Exactly. We had just unlocked a milestone before we finished yesterday. Ah, that's right. We had unlocked. Ah, we've actually gotten a level past what I had expected. We've got the cable car stops, we've got metro monorail, metro intercity bus. We don't really need a metro though. But let's take a little look at that whole intercity bus thing. I am going to turn the music down a little bit though. While I do enjoy the music, at least having something in the background, yeah, sometimes it's a bit too much. That's not really that much better. Ah, perfect. Now I can hear myself think. I think I can hear myself think anyway. So, Zoidberg doesn't have enough buyers. We can deal with that. Over here, what were our plans? Exactly, let's take a look at that intercity bus hub, or even better, maybe we should take a look at doing something about that first. How much money do we have? 500,000. Because I would kind of like to pull this highway up and actually take that over, so to speak, so that we can basically use the highway as our main road along this entire island as we... Oh, what's that back there? As we slowly build up. But that may have to wait. So, just out of curiosity, do we have a train connection anywhere reasonably close that we can connect to? Doesn't look like we have... Ah, I think there's a train back there leading to what appears to be an old factory. Yeah, that looks like a train line. Obviously, that's the coast. That may actually be a smart place to expand to next. Okay. So if I put that intercity bus line over here... Oh, wait a second. I can get up to here, so I could drag... Is that a good idea, is the question. Let's find out. Where are our new transport? Bus depot, biofuel bus depot, bus station, intercity bus station. Yeah, you know what? I do not know why I keep forgetting to turn those off. In-game tutorial, blah blah, disable fire spreading, where is it? Duh. Show in-game guide pop-ups, no thank you. And yeah, leave that chirper stuff. No, you know what, leave that open. That's actually not that annoying. So this is that big. It needs a highway connection. Also not a problem. Oh. But that's a problem. Landfill usage 100%. Processing status is not really worth it. Wait a sec, I get 27. Yeah, this problem, we're gonna solve this problem a little bit differently. You do need the natural disasters mod to do this, but yeah. Just collapse the landfill, and then you don't have to remove it. You don't have to replace it, you can just bulldoze it. And put in an well, wait a sec. Do we have... Yes, we do. 48,000 a week. And what will a normal one do? We'll also do 48,000 a week, so that's really just an optical upgrade. But I do want to start... Oh, wow, that's big. Okay, then, we'll put that right there. Yeah, that's a small building. I think we know where our trash is going now. To Mount Doom. But you know what? I think I'll actually build a standard incineration plant on the other side, just to make sure. Because that'll put our processing status up. Exactly. Now there should really be zero garbage issues for the most part. And it doesn't look like anybody... Well, these guys are obviously slobs. So, we were actually thinking about the biofuel bus station, but I think we need to make sure some of the basics are still running. We put a second up. You know what? I'm gonna go with a third of each. Just to make sure we don't run out of capacity. Is that actually in the water? Does that still count as in the water? I have my doubts. It may have been... Ah, that's right, I have to connect that. And it'll work. Yeah, but that appears to be, at least according to the game, in the water? Although, no, we don't want a natural disaster. Bad idea. This was the level tool, right? Exactly. I'll just cut the shoreline back just a wee bit. And maybe, exactly, put a little dip under each one. And now there's absolutely no question whether or not they will have water or not. Okay, that problem's solved. Or not even a problem yet. Oh god, the ads are hilarious sometimes.
So experience something different.
Yakisoba, death noodles.
Means fried noodles.
If you're looking for that relaxed vibe, search no further. I'm Deep Thought, and this is the Deep Focus channel.
And I do have to agree with him. That's the reason I usually have this channel on when playing. Exactly. Now we'll pop in some more industry. That wasn't filled yet? Okay, I'm surprised at that. So, in fact, you know what? We'll just blow the whole thing open. You've got a business. Put it up here. I hope you need fish. Ah, that's right, and now we can redo those because we have power in form of these nice office buildings. Are these different? Are these the standard office buildings? I've been playing so much with mods and extra assets that I every so often get surprised at the standard models. But this actually looks reasonably nice. Fish market, 70 people. So that's right. We had a traffic issue that originally started here and we moved it down to here. Although that is still running, yeah, reasonably well. I don't really think we need to worry about that yet. Or 94%. I mean, it is red, it's being used, but it's okay. Surprisingly. In fact, we could probably even turn this back to a two-way road to get people actually using it again. Not necessarily sure that's a good idea, but we'll just see what happens. But overall, this does seem to be running reasonably well. Every so often it gets a small tail, but nothing major. Back here, they're getting more and more lively. Ah, that's right, we have the park that upgraded yesterday. That would be something that we could take a look at. Where is it? City Parks. We have 2. How much entertainment do we need? Another... what is that? 160, something like that. I think we can manage that. Yeah, but of course not with transportation. Do we have the little gazebos? No, we don't. Boo. No, this is actually... it'll just knock out the road. That's what I was just wondering. Do I have some form of anarchy enabled, or what's going on? How high is the entertainment value on that? 70. And how high was it on a normal plaza? 50. Okay, so we'll put that in. I guess that road is gonna have to be gone for a little bit. And you know what? We'll throw in cafes and things. Restrooms, just whatever we can to pop up the entertainment value a little bit. Oh, these side gates actually provide entertainment value. I did not know that. That's news. So we get 50 out of a cafe. That's actually not so bad if I can figure out where to put it. That'll work. 391, so we need another 29. And then we can tear some of this down and put in gazebos when we get them, if we get them. Can we get another 30 entertainment value out of this somewhere? Info booth. It's gonna knock out a path. Yeah, you know what? We'll just knock that path out. Yeah, we'll knock that path out too. Screw it. Just have to. Oh, that was a bad idea. There. Got that. Obviously, we don't have much in the way of side connections. We're gonna want to zone that away. Yeah, and I'll just have to redo that later when we... Oh, yes, wonderful, 421. And we've got the visitors. Yeah, we'll just let that run. Problem solved. Again, we'll redo that when... And I'm still considering... You know what? Yeah, we'll do that now. Since we're here anyway. I'm truly sorry to anybody that lives here, but goodbye. In fact, I probably didn't even need to do that. I probably could have just built fences, but yeah, screw it. And we'll just make this into a... And you know what? We'll put a main gate then over. Ah, that's right. I have to... I'm gonna have to tear out... This is going to be a slightly larger project than I initially expected, but that's actually not a bad thing. Gives us something to do. This was Park, right? Yes, this was Park. We'll just expand Walnut City Park up to here and to here. So that gives us all of this space. First thing we'll do is obviously claim it. I claim this land in the name of the city park. And that's the part where Marvin the Martian comes down and says, I claim this in the name of Mars. And then hilarity ensues. Is that a curved road? Not really, or? Not. Shouldn't be. Okay, we'll just freeform it. Oh, come on. Oh, that'll work. You know what? Since we want to go around the cemetery anyway, that'll actually work. I think we need to get snapping off. Ah, much better. In fact, you know what? No, we'll delete that. I've got the game paused, right? Right. Good. Oh, you're kidding, right? Okay, that's starting to look better. So where are we now? We're gonna need to extend the fence over here. And what is your major malfunction, my friend? You know what, I'll see if I can't maybe put a gate over in here somewhere. You know what? We'll just leave this corner. Will we leave this corner open? No, because then they'll just walk past it. There. That's what we needed. Probably not going to be able to go... Yeah, we are. Cool. So this is actually working out better than I initially expected. That's beautiful. And we can connect right up to there. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Now this is starting to look like a park. And now we've got some extra room. No. I don't want to do that. I just want to replace the gate. And, okay, so we're... that sucks, but yeah, gonna have to live with it. We'll destroy the area type and remove all progression, yeah, I guess. Doesn't look like we have much of a choice if we want to switch to using the main gate, the big gate, which I think looks reasonably nice over there. Exactly, and then we'll just take paths over. I'll just delete the stuff we don't need or want, because we really do have enough money that we can rebuild if necessary. I think that was a cafe and a set of toilets, right? Yeah, we'll leave those. And that was an info booth, right? Yeah, so we'll leave those 3. And yeah, I think I've got it. One will upgrade these paths. And why not? Oh, because it already is a path with trees. That's a legitimately good reason. Then I guess I'll just upgrade that one. Yeah, every so often the game does actually know what it's doing. Well, I guess the game's telling me we want to put a side gate there. Well, who am I to tell the game it's wrong? So, we put a side gate there. I was actually thinking of something else, but this isn't too bad. I can live with this. I can totally live with this. You're kidding me, right? Because of that road. And there's no angle I can hit it at, right? What happens if I take out that chunk of road? Nothing good, probably. But, yeah, that was a really bad idea. Oh well, it was worth a try. Although it may actually... Okay, now it's starting to become a bad joke. What is going on? Why can I not... Oh! I see what happened. It changed the road shape when I put that down. It added this light curve. Ah, and that's what's pooching us. Okay, but maybe after replacing... Ha! We can get what we wanted. So, and now we have to check on the entertainment value. Yeah, that went down to 260 something. Because we, of course, took out the plazas and things like that. We may actually have to put that back in again. We'll see. Where are our other little parkify thingies? Maybe expanding this to include a cemetery wasn't the world's best idea, although you know what? I will put a side... We're gonna need 2 more side gates. And that's gonna raise our entertainment value anyway, which is of course wonderful. In fact, you know what? I'll put that one, I'll put these up right next to the cemetery. So it gives a nice little... Yeah, it adds a little bit to the cemetery, exactly, puts a little park around it. That's the way it should look. That's gonna work just fine. And this is then where we can plop like gazebos and things like that, assuming we ever get that far. How far are we now? 266 out of what was it? 400 something? Ah, you know what? We'll just let it run again from scratch. Doesn't matter. It's a city park. It's not like this is our main money making machine. The important thing was just to make it look a little bit less like a rinky-dinky plunk, and actually turn it into a park. And I think this is with the cemetery in there. I think that looks nice. Although, admittedly, from a happiness rating perspective, it's probably actually redundant because the cemetery does increase happiness around it as well. Interestingly enough. Almost as if people like to see dead people. I don't know. Nah, I'm kidding. It's in the real world the same. It's the same way in the real world, dude. People just... Cemeteries are just a nice peaceful place to be. And when you think about it, cemeteries normally have some form of parking. So yeah, this actually doesn't look too off the wall. It just looks like a... Do we have... Wait a sec. Do I have like cemetery gravestone props? Let me think. Where would I find those? If anything, probably under either landscaping or parks, vegetation, rock. Let's worry about this kind of thing later, but just out of curiosity, do I have something that looks like maybe like a set of tombstones? Walls and fences? Not really. Those are the paths we were talking about earlier. Those are obviously the water structures. I mean, here we can create dozens of tombstones, but those are not the ones we're looking for. That's right. These are in parks? Okay, that surprises me a little bit. Park maintenance, yeah. All not what we're looking for here. Props. We build Stonehenge, but that's not quite the plan. Just thinking maybe like if I had something like these little grave props that you could just maybe drop a few over here. This looks nice, but it's going to take room away from the gazebos I want to build later. Otherwise, that would actually be a nice idea.
Imagine planting a money tree in the ground and watering it.
We'll worry about making that look nice
Imagine if you had a money
later.
pet and you fed it more money,
The
and
important
after
thing now is
digesting,
that
it would.
it is actually, well,
You
a
want to go
park.
money
And
fishing,
I
so
think,
you use a
yeah,
little
you can
money to
get
catch your
in
big
from
money.
anywhere.
Just come in and talk
This is
to us.
basically
We
a
have even
parking
more
road
metaphors that
now,
allow us to avoid saying what we really do with your money.
which is
Banhammer
actually
Bank,
not a bad
feed the
idea.
money monster.
Reasonable
Saddle
parking
up
road
your
in the
mornings
middle of
with Jimmy and the
everything, not
Stallion,
too
the
far
only morning
away
show
from,
featuring DJ Jimmy Fries
you know,
and a 4-year-old
that
quarter
may
horse
actually
named
wind up
Clover.
being a multi-purpose
This
good
is Jimmy
idea.
Fries coming to you from Studio
Okay.
2. Whoa!
Now
Looks
there
like
was that whole
someone's
inner city
horsing
bus thing
around.
that we were still thinking about.
Okay.
Let's just let it run.
Easy, boy.
They'll play your favorite hits, give out great prizes, and laugh their way through your commute. Jimmy and the Stallion. Stable entertainment only on Cities Radio.
Because we don't really... I mean, we could consider adding like a normal bus station, but I don't actually
We're all here
think
working
we
to
have the
build
size
ourselves a
that
future,
makes sense
and I
yet.
know it can be easy to lose sight of your goal. It's hard to imagine, but
But
one
what
day
we
you'll be
can
looking back at
add,
this time
yeah, that'll
striving,
definitely
secure
work,
in the fruits of
actually.
each long hour you
Wow,
spent
these
studying.
everything's just going
Here's a
bling,
little
bling, bling,
something to
upgrading like crazy.
set the
What did I do?
Let's all share a moment of
Ah,
nostalgia.
the park, of course.
Past that's yet to come.
I think, I hope. Well, I don't know. It's vanilla. I don't have all the info tools I would normally have. But exactly, some form of public transportation is not a bad idea. Taxis aren't really public transportation. They don't really do anything for your, how should I say, for your traffic. But they're still really not a bad idea necessarily. And it is kind of nice to see them jumping around every so often. Pedestrian traffic also seems to still be okay. Oh, that's right. Do we have the encourage biking policy yet? Yes, we do. What? Ah, you know, just wondering why didn't I have those? So we want to encourage biking. Yes, definitely. Here we have our new policies for the fishing, sustainable fishing. Increases upkeep. Oh, but it increases citizen happiness and commercial income. Right now, maybe not the best idea, but in the long term. And then, of course, dolphin safe fishing. Although that's during tuna fishing specifically. So until we have access to tuna, that really doesn't make a difference. Airplane tours. Local aviation club starts organizing airplane tours, increases building plane count, entertainment, and city attractiveness. And it increases the noise pollution, of course, by 50%. That was, when you think about it, that's kind of to be expected. What's upgrading here? Somebody's house? Yes, the Mulberry residence. 7,000 people, slowly growing. What are we looking at here? Customers. Okay then. Do we have this zone back here as residential yet? No, we did not. So we can still do something there. Yes, there's that high density residential that I'm really trying to avoid using. Yeah, but you can definitely live here in the back of those No reason. Ah, but not there. Let's turn that into commercial just so it fits. In fact, I could probably do I have what? No, that's also network extensions, I think. The gangway, that's highways, of course. That does us no good. Or we do have some of the asymmetrical roads. That's nice. 2-lane one-way industry road. Okay, that'll help us up there a little bit. But there still aren't any 4-lane one-way roads in this thing, are there? I still can't understand why they don't have a 4-lane one-way road in this. But okay, we'll get by without it. That's not a major issue. If nothing else, I'll take a 6-lane and ban traffic on one side. I can't. I don't have mods. Just remembered. What's that? Gravel path or what? 2-lane gravel road. Small. Ah, yeah, that's right. That's going towards the 2-lane. That's with tram tracks, trolley bus wires. Are we big enough for buses? Would that make sense? Not really. What we'll do though, we'll plop in some more residential over here for sure. Because people are screaming that they want to move in, and who am I to say, no, you gotta live somewhere else? No. Come here, we want your money. We like money. I think that should be enough. I don't want to overzone. And industry has actually more or less capped out space-wise. Okay, they're all tearing down. Please say it's because not enough workers. Yes, not enough workers. Okay, then you know what? We will actually... no, it's actually going nicely the way it is. We'll leave it. I would like to get more people coming in, though, still. And inner-city bus routes would, of course, be a great way to do that. The question is just whether or not it's worth it to do that at this point in time. But you know what? I think I think I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a little road in here. Put it over here. Or, yeah, that's a nice place. Because they have no other way to go afterwards anyway. But that's... You know what, for now it's okay to have a T-crossing here. Because the bus lines aren't going to go over that way. What, distance too short? Are you joking? Let's re-snap. It's because I have... Why did I have... That's why that happened before. Okay, because I had the curved road selected. Don't ask me why. Did I ever mention I can be a pretty damn big noob? I'm sure I said something about that at some point in time. Exactly, and we'll put the inner city bus station here. We'll actually lengthen that road just a little bit. Yeah, and that way we'll allow our people access to it as well. And so then we'll put the intercity bus station here. And we'll put a taxi depot over on the other side. And we'll put a few taxi stands at some semi-critical places. Sorry about your home, but we needed that room. That would be reasonable, yeah, because that's really close to all the main utilities. Put another one up here. You don't normally need large amount of taxis in residential areas, but it's still never a bad idea to have a taxi stand or two. Somewhere in the middle, and of course you're gonna want one or two in your commercial areas, because that's where public transportation is generally needed the most. Something went bling. Ah, that was probably Twitch. No, it wasn't. Okay. But then what was it? What upgraded? What went bling? Who knows? Who cares? I'll survive. And then what we'll do to give those inner city buses a little bit better access, we'll actually take a little ramp off of here. Can we already go under? Can we go straight underground here? Yes, we can. Beautiful. That was dumb. Now I see the problem. I still have the straight road tool. What we want to do now is take this. And just give those inner city buses a way to get over here. Do I have bus lane only roads? No, I don't. I think that was also part of the network extensions mod, right? Yeah, so this might wind up causing general issues in the long term. Let's just see what happens. In fact, what I'll also do to alleviate problems there, I'll either switch that to a 4 or that to a 3. I think in the long term going to a 4 is probably the more prudent idea. But I can't go to a 4 with that because these are too close. So we need to go down to a 2 for this section. And I think we will actually reconnect these. Yeah, because that gives us a lane in each direction. At least that much still works. Because that should at least make general ingress a little bit more, less of a problem. Although I get a feeling it's overall still going to... We're probably still going to need a roundabout here very soon. A roundabout or something. Some other better solution. Yeah, we're going to have to go back to a one-way road over here. Sorry guys, but that way.
Cameras. If you want the best, you've got to go big. That's why our cameras are the biggest.
That sucks because that gives me...
Cameras aren't paperweight. They're tools used to create. In fact, the most valuable
What if I did
one that
an
you're afraid to take outside.
asymmetrical road somewhere?
Lights, camera, moving. There's nothing nothing like watching a movie to take you to another place or time. And there's no better place to
Asymmetrical
watch than Broom City.
3-lane.
And no better time than the time it takes you to get from where you are to where we are. You'll break box office records of fun as you take a trip to Tinseltown Movieville, USA. Action cut quiet on the set. Our theaters
There. Beautiful.
guaranteeing the only thing you hear is the movie.
That works.
That high-pitched shuttle drone is normal. It's the sound your ears hear when there's nothing for your ears to hear here. So come
And we'll
on
turn
down
that
and
into a
enjoy the movie
one-way
where
road
everyone's a star.
going that way.
This is your boy, Deep Thought, thanking you.
Ah,
personally
wait a sec,
for
but then
joining
there...
us.
Yeah, I think that'll still work. Maybe I'll actually... You know what? I think I'll put our first 4-lane road in here and just see what happens. It really doesn't look much better. Except that now we have traffic lights. I really don't want to put in a roundabout here yet. At least not yet. That's... You know what? I think it's time. These roads also became one way. Ah, not that one. And then we can use, no, that's not what I wanted. We can use the, which tool is it? Adjust road tool, exactly. And then we can do the junctions, and then we can knock out these traffic lights and see if that doesn't, so, oh yes. Yeah, I'm liking the way that looks, at least for now. It's not perfect, it's definitely not beautiful, but it works. Okay. And what's the story on Ah, there we've got one. And where are you going, my friend? To West Valley. And you are going to also West Valley. 0 passengers. Why are you driving with 0 Ah, apparently somebody overbooked. What we're actually, and that's nice, we're not getting inundated with normal traffic, but we're actually getting people specifically to the intercity bus station and not really a ton of, yeah, every so often a few cars that want to go into the commercial area or see a shorter way home. Yeah, that's working nicely. That's working very nicely. Why is this... Is that supposed to be straight? In what dimension is that straight? You had one job. Jesus. What, were there dead people lying in the road and you had to pave around them? Or normally we just go over them and turn them into part of the asphalt, guys. That's why you use that heavy machinery. So, and what to do next? Exactly. What we could while we're not a massive city yet, we could already start adding some road maintenance, especially like right in here where it's, yeah, basically central to everything and not really going to cause any other issues. At least it shouldn't. I hope it won't. And that should probably cover literally everything, right? Yeah, wonderful. Even part of the highway. So, those inner city buses are actually, there's quite a bit going on with those. They're coming in relatively often, surprisingly. Ah, okay. They drop people off and then they just go back if they're empty. Okay. That's nice. That means that's probably not something that's going to cause me massive amounts of upkeep. While we're on that topic, that's roads. Where's public transportation? Public transportation. Taxis. Yeah. Expenses 8. Oh, that's not taxis. That's postal service. Yeah. As usual, I'm not expecting to make a significant amount of money on public transportation. If it breaks even, wonderful. Don't count on it. Generally not a good idea. Unless you actually know what you're doing, and that may be the reason it doesn't work for me. Why is the entire industrial area not enough workers? Not enough workers? Do we really need to zone that much again? Okay, I guess we'll turn this then into a new extension of the residential area. I guess we don't have much choice, because we really want to keep this for ore mining for later. Okay then. People are complaining. People complaining is generally a good sign that you need to do something, so let's do something. Oh, yeah, they're moving in real fast. And while that is already zoned, what we need to do now, I'm really sorry, is screw up a few rental contracts. Oh, you know what? That's actually a nice idea. Connect that up there. And that'll let us put a bit more fishing and commercial back in there if we want to, which we almost certainly will. And then we'll just drag this right through there. Do I have? No, I don't. No. Yeah, this we can do that on this side. Why can I not get that? Already occupied. I'll give you already occupied. Just as a little connector road over there. yeah, I'll leave that little bit of space in there and leave that in there for a park. In fact, I'll just plop that down straight off. What have we got here? Tropical garden. Ah, it's a little bit big for a tropical garden. But that would be something we could put down here, or over here we could use a tropical garden for sure. They definitely need something like that. Little fishing island. Ah, already got all that in the way. Oh, well, we can put that yeah, let's do that. One little fishing club that says, no, we're just as important as the commercial guys. Since we're getting closer to the commercial area, yeah, let's drop a botanical garden in here. That's actually a nice idea. Question is where? Well, that's basically decided. That wasn't too hard. Although I did actually want to put a park in here, so okay, let's not say we did. And then, of course, they're going to need power and water. Well, power they're going to get anyway. Water is a nice thing. After all, they do need something to put all of that toilet paper they poured it down the toilet with. And using your hands just isn't fun. And I think now we can let it run and start zoning in. It may be that the people are too far away from the industry, but I don't think that's the problem. I don't think we've actually gotten that big yet. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, we do not want anyone moving in there quite yet. I think that should be reasonable growth for at least a short period. What's our next milestone anyway? I never even looked. 9,000. We'll probably hit that quite. We're losing population. Are we already getting into those evil fluctuations, the death waves and things like that? Influx is obviously going up and down. Birth rate, death rate. Yeah, we may actually. Yeah, we may be setting ourselves up for death waves. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh well. We'll see when all's said and done. What's the story on power if I'm already at it? Oh yeah, this thing. How much is this generating? Not actually that much, only 5-6 megawatts. Okay, would have expected more. Is this one doing God in the world or no? Also only 4. Would have expected a little bit more out of that, but not a bad thing. At least garbage is completely taken care of. We have no landfills. And it looks like, yeah, the people over here are also going to get their trash taken care of. That's not going to be an issue. So exactly while we're at it, yeah, it's probably a good time to add a hospital. Yeah. Stop. We have a nice new hospital from the content creator pack that... Oh, come on. I just want to bulldoze a hospital for Christ's sake. What? Ah! I'm still underground, that's why. So there's the medical laboratory, but we have a nice new general hospital from the content creators pack, and I'd like to plop that down. Because, yeah, that's going to give us the same area of effect, but it's going to give us... Oh, yeah. I like this. This looks nice. This looks very nice. It's got nice parking spaces in front. It just... It doesn't necessarily look like a hospital, per se. It almost looks more like an office building, but... Hey, I like it. So... And that'll take... Yeah, and you can already hear the people upgrading like nuts because, oh, more healthcare. So, it's a story on fires. Fire department is actually reasonably well set up. Then we'll just put a small one up here. Just to make sure these people, as well as the commercial area, just have at least a little bit of coverage. Although I may actually need a second one here in the commercial. In fact, I'll just do that. Police, same story. Probably just need one down here. Should sort most of it and add another one up here. What we could do... Do we have access to aircraft already? Blimp depot. Well, that's not quite what we're looking for. Yet. Airport, cargo airport. Ah, yeah, that's right. The new one is under hubs, and there's the Metropolitan Airport. 70,000 people. Okay, that's gonna take a few more minutes. You know, that
Gaze
probably
at a
would have been a better
Lock eyes with the
idea.
lemur. Shake hands
But we can
with the
upgrade
turtle.
that later
At the
anyway.
city zoo,
So,
you can
oh, we
experience
have
the
$1 million in our
wild
bank?
wildest exhibition
How
yet.
did we do that?
Come down this weekend to meet our newest addition, a three-toed sloth named Barbara.
Fairies
She'll hook you with her smile, and
don't
hook
really
you again
make
with her
sense
curved
yet.
toes used to grasp trees in the wild. After that, take a gander at another new species, a new type of bird previously identified as a different type of bird due to a
I would
zoological
like
error.
to add some public
Fun for the whole
transportation,
family.
but it's really
Book now
actually a
and get
bit of an
free
issue
handful
in the
pellets
sense
to
of
feed the fish.
what.
Limit 4 per family. Supplies
Although
last. We'll look
I'm
forward
starting
to
to
seeing you where
think
the
we
animals
might
live in rooms painted to look like
want
home.
to just add a few
The city
bus
zoo.
lines. And that may actually be exactly
We're all
where
here
we need to
working
go.
build ourselves a future, and I know it can be easy to lose sight of your goal. It's hard to imagine, but one day you'll be looking back at these times fondly, secure in the fruits of each long hour you spent studying. Here's a
I
little
get a
something
feeling the
to
issue is that
set the
people
scene.
aren't able to get up
Let's all
there
share a
easily
moment of
enough.
nostalgia for a past that's yet to come.
Or is this... Oh, that is actually a... No, that's not a two-way road. So let's turn that back into a two-way road and see if that doesn't slightly improve the issue with people not being able to get to work. In fact, I'll make these two-way roads up until this crossing. This is basically where everything needs to be decided. And so we'll also turn that into a 4-lane. Yeah, of course that gives us traffic lights again, which are never good. Goodbye and goodbye. It's far from ideal, but it appears to be working. I don't... Yeah... That's probably just a result of the death wave. You know what? That's probably what it is. Just so many people died off because I zoned so much at the same time that they now have a problem that all their workers are dead. In fact, I'm almost willing to bet that that's the case. And zoning in a lot fast right now would of course solve the problem in the short term, but it would have the disadvantage that we'd get the same thing in another 6 years. Exactly the same thing would happen. Education too low for the office building? What's the story on education? Elementary is fine. Capacity is up there, although we could use another 2 just to get coverage down here, and maybe even 2 over here in the new area. Although I think 1 here on this central road should be enough. High school. Yeah, we can put a second high school down in over here. That should... Yeah, that should solve our needs there. University, nah, we don't really want a university yet. We're not big enough to really warrant that, but we could pop in a public library or 2. That's never a bad idea. Of course, you have to find room for them, which the way I built is a legitimate issue. Now here we've got room for a second one. A reasonable area of effect. Everybody but over there. And then we'll just drop another one in down here. Yeah, right across the street from the normal little school. So the kids can just jump out and go to the public library and do their homework there if they want. Now this is starting to look nice. I will be right back though. I need to turn on the lights here before I start to go blind. 1 second. So, I'm back. While I do enjoy seeing as much of my video games in as much contrast as possible, yeah, I do also like being able to see the rest of the world the rest of the day. So, now, where were we? Trying to get some population growth, but not too fast, so that we can revive our industry. This is actually one of the main reasons that a lot of people use a randomize age mod as well, so that you don't get, or you can still get death waves, but they're not nearly as extreme, and over time they peter out because the ages of the people moving in are different. They don't all come in as adults. Some of them come in as young adults. Some of them come in bringing children with them. Some of them actually come in as seniors. Whereas in the normal game, if I'm not completely mistaken, you only normally get adults. Unless, of course, you're building high density, and that's actually one of the reasons to build different densities, is that you attract different people. But yeah, I think long term we're gonna have to dump these wind turbines out here on the coast so that we can use that space for something else. Then again, long term, we're probably going to set everything up as solar anyway. When do I get my updraft towers and things like that anyway? I can't remember. I know those are still in vanilla. Oh, we actually have oil power. Oh, we have updraft towers already. Oh, dude. Then, I think I'm just going to solve our power issues completely. And be done with it. You know what? The nice thing about solar updraft towers is that they don't produce any ground pollution. They only do noise pollution, and they produce a lot of power. 240 megawatts. Yeah, that one thing. The updraft tower alone is more than we actually need. So if we put 2 of those in, we can basically tear down all of our other power producing infrastructure, especially the coal plants, because if we tear down the coal plants, that's just something that in the long term is going to give us a little bit of a traffic bonus by not having us import coal all the time. So, and that also means that we can tear these down. Wait a second, just out of curiosity, did those actually have any impact on the fish that were out there, or did that... Interesting. It may be a natural fluctuation, but these may have scared off the salmon. I'm not sure. No, 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 no. We want to get rid of these things. Thank you. We don't need refunds, don't worry about us. Yeah, because power, again, now we've got these 2 solar updraft towers, that's like 500 megawatts or something like that. That should be, yeah, 489 meg. Ah, that's right, because we still have those trash facilities that are also burning trash and thereby causing creating power, causing power. Jeez. And I think that's also where that little fluctuation is coming from. So all of that has filled up. So it's time to add more. Not out there. Not yet, anyway. The reason I every so often pause it really quickly when I'm using the brush tool is that the last thing I want is to have, like, something like that, and just because I wasn't paying attention, and then have people move in to what could potentially be a 4-spot plot, a 4x4, with like a 1x1 dainty little shack. I'd like to avoid that. And so when you get like these things that are only half filled with the brush tool, it's generally a good idea to run back quick and then just fill them in. How much did I do there? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2? So we can take those 2 as well. So what's traffic looking like? Still at 93%. Okay. Yeah, those two little 4-lane crossover roads, those are really pulling it out. They're definitely pulling their weight. And this intercity bus setup is just working great. They come in there and they're immediately on their way back out, not causing any major traffic issues. And people are just zipping off here like gangbusters. This is working smashingly. Why have we... Ah, because... yeah, because now we have a 4-lane road there, so wait a second. Will it help me if I turn that into an asymmetrical? Or will it kill me? I need 1 lane going left. Ah, that's the problem. That's 2 lanes, so that's never really gonna... Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to look at that later. It's not really a major issue. It's just basically that this 1 lane is not being used, which is... Yeah, exactly, because they want to go straight and they want to go right. No, I don't like that. I want to change that now. That's gonna drive me nuts later. I can already see it coming. And that's exactly the way we didn't want it. Yeah, that should be better. 1 right, 1 left. 1 right, 1 straight, and 1... Why is it doing 1 straight and 1 left? I don't... Ah, yeah, because I have 2 lanes going... Yeah, that's right. Because there's 2 lanes going off that way. If that were a 1-lane road, or if this were a 4-lane... Wait a second. Ah, I can't go to 4 lanes because Zoidberg's factory is there. Can I move that far enough down? That might work. Let's see. Nope. Okay, sorry. But, yeah. Not so sorry. Then we'll just move this back to where it was. Give these guys their industrial space back. But I mean, it's not a major issue right now. It is still working overall. Traffic is still going in and out decently, so yeah, we'll just leave that the way it is and come back and screw with that at a later date. Finally getting some commercial demand again. So maybe this would be a good time to just add another little road straight through here. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I may start working with districts. This is really going to piss a few people off out here. But I'm thinking of making this entire district organic and local produce. Are the districts always so light? it seems to me like that these used to be less translucent. Yeah, and of course a lot of people are going to be tearing down their
Dinosaurs. The
businesses
only
now.
restaurant where the servers are dinosaurs. Our animatronics are so real, you'll think a T-Rex is serving you T-bone. A pterodactyl is serving you teriyaki. That a
What we'll actually
brontosaurus
do
is serving you chili dogs. Every dish is an
is
archaeological
turn this
find.
inside
like our
area
steak,
into
our
high
Raptor Burger
density.
Rex, or the pile of crumbled sticky brownies adventurously named the Dino Droppings. So,
No,
take
no,
a
no, no,
trip
no,
into
no,
the
no,
wild
no, we
at
won't. At least not
Dinosaurus,
all of
and
it.
you can dine in or dine oh.
This is your boy, Deep Thought, thanking you personally for joining us.
So,
at
you know
the
what?
Deep Focus channel.
Exactly. We'll put... That's actually nice, the way they did that, the way that turned out. So we'll just... Exactly. Put some high density here. In the end. Low density more or less through the middle. Some more high density on each end. That's 4 and 5. And then we'll, exactly, and then we'll just plop like another, what's that? That's 4, and that's another 4. Just to give us like a little kind of promenade or whatever you want to call it. With some more high density in the center. Why did they not have power? Ah, they don't have power because everybody else moved out, yeah. Something happened. City planning is run by dumbasses. That's why we don't have power. But let's see how this turns out. Now this should all be organic and local produce in some form. Eco-Still the hostel? Okay. An Edison shop. And still keep this area here as general purpose commercial. Just for like shops and things like that. In fact, we could probably live with adding the occasional shop back here. Although I do kind of like to avoid adding too much commercial into my residential areas. I'm a bit different. I prefer to centralize everything, even though it is actually generally useful to have like at least the occasional shop somewhere back here. In fact, you know what? Screw it. Put a little corner shop in there, like a magazine shop or something, probably. These are all the people who are staying at home, turning their homes into businesses because they don't have a choice. Maybe a shop somewhere, yeah, right here, for example. That would be a nice place for a few shops. Just basically right here across from the, whatchamacallit, from the cemetery. There's a little commercial enclave. Actually had reconsidered that, but now it's too late. So that's a shop. Let's see what happens. Here we're probably also running out of workers. Yeah, not enough workers. Everywhere we have not enough workers, even though our population is slowly going up, but it's just not going up fast enough. So we'll just zone, bam, that entire area. And again, it's starting to look like we may actually have to, yeah, expand. I don't think we're gonna get all too much more out of this without buying more land. So let's just let this run for a little bit. See what the next catastrophe is. I'm really sorry for the occasional light belch, but I have a serious indigestion problem today. I have no idea why. And of course the carbonation in the beer probably isn't helping. While I let this run, let's check the stream. Nobody here, but that's okay. Let's just let it run a little bit. We suddenly made a small city. I did not expect that, or it was to be expected it would happen at some point. I just wasn't actually waiting for it. Basketball arena? I don't think I've ever seen that. Basketball varsity sports team. So that means that's probably just an upgrade to the university areas. Or, if I remember right, museums, content. What's this? Oh yeah, it's the faculty, that's right. Yeah, exactly. It's just more varsity sports for if we eventually build an actual university. Okay. But I'd like to hit 10,000 before I purchase the next plot. Or I should say before we purchase the next plot. Because while I'm doing the clicking, if anybody has any suggestions or ideas, please throw them at me. Because this is entertaining for me, no matter what. I'm playing a game that I would be playing anyway. I might not be playing it in vanilla normally, although currently most of the mods I've realized are actually not working. For example, the 81 tiles I think was updated today, so I wouldn't have been able to do that yesterday even if I wanted to. But again, I'm gonna have fun no matter what, so I don't know. You want to see a huge amusement park here in the middle? What do I know? Use these two things as vertical drop towers, or run a whatchamacallit, run a roller coaster around them. We can't actually do that, of course. Anybody who's played the game knows that's probably not going to work. Although with Overland Metro, we could probably do some very interesting things. I don't know if that will actually get you entertainment points or just get you a transportation efficiency of 0, though. One or the other. Oh, that does not look nice, though. So now what do we get? There's probably a lot of this is going to be people trying to move in. I'm hoping it's going to be people trying to move in and that this is just a... In fact, you know what? Let's take a look at the routes. Blackwell Bridge. Where are these people going? Yeah, most of it is in fact people just moving in, and that's slowly but surely becoming a problem. Okay. Overall traffic. Oh, that was the wrong button. So we'll just let that run and see if it clears up or if it gets worse. What's the overall traffic look like? 87%. Yeah, so this crossing is now starting to cause actual legitimate issues at around 10,000 people, which is, yeah, mostly what I expected. So first things first, nobody crosses here. We're going to turn these into one-way roads going out in both directions. Because the whole point is to get people out of this connection as easily as possible. Because if nobody can come in, it doesn't matter if anything can get out. Exactly, and now that the incoming traffic is cleared up a little bit, it's coming in slight waves, but the outflow just pumps out back after it. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's the solution I was hoping for. Or rather, it looks like the solution I was hoping for. It probably completely screwed up something else. Or it put our traffic back up to 93%. So, okay, that was actually the solution we were looking for. Beautiful. Thank you. Maybe I'm not so bad. Maybe I'm not quite as bad as I always say. Maybe I did actually learn something playing this game at some point in time. We have $1.5 million too. We're actually not doing that bad. We're doing surprisingly well, to be honest. Just out of curiosity, what's a story on tourists? Though that's tours, that's not tourism. Oh, we're actually getting 50 tourists a week. We're mostly using the public libraries. But what we need is a nice tourist attraction, basically right here, close to the bus station. Just a reason for people to come, and ideally just let me think. I mean, we have this nice large field here in the middle that we could basically turn into a tourist trap. What was the story on trains? Where is the next train line? All the way over there. I think even if we buy another plot, we won't have access to that. We're going to need at least 2. That's already taken up by the highway and a river, although that river could be awesome for fishing. Probably will be awesome for fishing. I guarantee it'll be awesome for fishing. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of salmon in there. The question is, can these trawlers zip up and down one of these rivers? Alternatively, can I maybe dam one and put fishing behind it? This is the way water goes. Obviously, I don't want to put a dam here because, yeah, we've got a city here. Let's see what the land... Oh, there's no real place to put a hydro plant. Might be able to put one in over here. And maybe a second one over there. That looks promising. But they won't be like those the huge 1.6 gigawatt plants that I like to build when I get them. Probably be lucky to get 50 megawatts out of one. Is there any other way to get a train or anything else? We could go that way and start working with harbors. And then we'll eventually get to that oil that's out there. This is actually a slight predicament. Which way to go? We could go. I mean, we could go in literally any direction. We could probably go in all. Yeah, I could buy literally every tile right around if I wanted to. We have the money, but it wouldn't really serve any purpose other than to generate more upkeep. Most importantly, we need more residential. But I'd like to also have that residential be a little bit closer to the things that need it. Okay, our worker problem is slowly but surely sorting itself as people move in. I want to keep that open for fishing still.
The Brontosaurus. For millennia, these gentle and graceful giants roamed the earth, grazing off the lush vegetation of the town. Their mere existence transformed the landscape and made a lasting impact on
I think I
our
know what we'll
world.
do.
It's that legacy that Dino Oil is proud to continue.
We'll
by
extend
using their
the residential up here a little bit.
Your 5-door wagon.
Maybe pop some
Making it the
offices in
oldest
here in the
form of
middle.
Recycling there is. Dino Oil. Embrace the power of bones.
And then we'll look at what's going on afterwards. Exactly. Let's just pop that in there first.
What's up, y'all? It's your host, Deep Thought, coming back at you with the thought of the day. Wherever you are, and
Where
whatever
are
you're doing,
our
pause for
roads
a
with
second.
trees?
Take in your surroundings. You can't stop to savor every moment, but if you're not careful, the days will slip past before you.
In fact, we'll just... Now that would be going too far, and I really don't want to go too far into that ore area, so we'll just... Exactly, we'll connect that over there. And over here, just to give us a last little enclave. In fact, we may even turn this into our first high density area. Although that's still something I'm kind of wanting to avoid, but we do need the people, and that would be relatively close. I know what we'll do. One, we'll drop offices in this entire area. Anything on the wrong side? No. Wonderful. Just so we have a noise buffer. We don't need to drop offices up there, but we do need them down here. And then we'll just put some more low density in here. There. And now that I think about it, they're probably going to want water. Just a hunch. In fact, I'll make this one little high density block. I do have to use the right buttons though, otherwise I'm not going to get anywhere. Could have just done that from here, probably would have been more effective, but doesn't matter. In fact, you know what? I'll make these edge blocks all high density. Basically this entire little chunk. You know what? We'll actually make this whole thing high density. The entire internal area. Of course you don't have power, you're supposed to be moving out, dumbass. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. That just guarantees us a little bit more of a workforce for the industrial and commercial areas. At least it should. It's the idea. Whether or not it actually works, we'll find out. In fact, you know what? There, you get some shops for your shops as well. Because eventually, again, this entire island is going to be high density anyway. The question is just when and how do I take this road and run it right through everything. Probably screwing up the park and everything. Oh yeah, that's right, the park was also upgraded again. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more entertainment value out of that. We need the park, of course. Otherwise, we're not going to get very far. So, Walnut City Park has what? 291. So we need another 129. That's doable, I think. Because what are these info booths? Exactly, a cafe is 50. So that's 50. Oh, that was 50, yeah. 100. 10. 20. 30. That should be enough. $388 out of 420. Okay, so we do need to put something else in there. Probably should have gone with the info booths instead of restrooms in the first place. Not too late. Would that fit in there? Yes, it would. Still add restrooms next to it. And over here. There's like one huge public toilet. Residential buildings? Be gone, residents from hell. How dare ye? Oh, we can put another... It's basically telling me it wants to put another side gate here. And who am I to say we're not going to do that? Solve that. And now we redo the fence. And that should actually also help our entertainment value. Yeah, thank you. 422. And we don't even need that many more visitors. And when that's all run its course, then we may even take out this road eventually, because it's not really being used very much for parking, interestingly enough. I thought it was going to be much, much more used. And in that case, yeah, exactly, we'd knock out this road and put another side gate in here, where people are already walking right through the fence. What the? You honestly think you could walk through here without paying money? Is that what this is about? What the? Public park, yes. Free? No. Oh, I'm smart. I know how to go through climb the fence. Okay. Then, yeah, toggle snapping off. Seriously, I cannot? Why can we not redo this little chunk of fence? You know what? And we'll just... Yes, I want to. Goodbye. Goodbye. Yes, goodbye. That actually gives us a lot more room anyway. This is a much more attractive park. And of course keeps people from jumping over the fence. Oh yeah, that is a much better solution. Wait a sec, what that also did is that probably, yeah, it cost us entertainment value. So, while we are going to run this over here, just drop a plaza in here and that should actually solve that completely. Yeah, ooh, 463 even. Well, and a few more people go running through there, we'll get up to level 3. So, what's a story up here on education and everything and law? Public library. Yeah, why not? You're factory workers, but you can do with one. Elementary school. Yeah. We'll put an elementary school out here. I'll keep all them happy. I think high school, they should be within range of one of these two. And if not, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Trash is obviously a non-issue. What's the story on that cemetery anyway? How full is that? Starting to fill up, so we may want to plop in a few. What, we don't have crematoriums yet? Seriously? Okay. That's surprising. Yeah, but they're doing okay for medical. Fire, they should be covered. Yeah, they're covered by that. Police, same deal. And then we were worried about education. Okay, so far, so good. So who cares? These people are right around the corner from the incinerator. Yet they're having a problem with... Oh, because they need to go... Yeah, they have to come down at least through here to pick up the trash there. They can't, but they don't have any way of getting over here. Oh, well, that sucks. Then that definitely has to be a two-way road again. There's no way about it. Yeah, I'm gonna... This is going to be a recurring issue with this intersection. It's gonna be... Yeah, because trash trucks basically had to go out of town just to pick up trash here, which of course is bullshit. Yeah, now they drive by and problem solved. Okay. But you know what? I know how we can do this a little bit more effectively anyway. Because I really don't like having people being able to cross over there. But we can do an asymmetric. Yeah, exactly. We can do an asymmetrical in there. We had that before too. That is not nice. But it does seem to be working. I'll flip it around though, so we get two in that direction and one coming in.
At Banhammer Bank, we want you to trust
Does
us
seem
with
to
your
be
money,
working.
because it's with your money that we can
And
make
their
you
trash
more
is
money.
getting picked up
No,
again,
it's
so
not funny
okay.
business. It's money business. You give
Catastrophe
your money
averted.
to us, and it will grow with interest. That's the plan, at least. Maybe that's too complicated for you. Imagine planting a money tree in the ground and watering it. Hold on. Imagine if you had a money pet, and you fed it more money, and after digesting, it would... Okay. You want to go money fishing, so you use a little money to catch a big money. You know, just come in and talk to us. We have even more metaphors that
And of
allow
course,
us to
they're
avoid
complaining
saying what
again, we
really
need
do with your money.
more living
Banhammer
space.
Bank. Feed the money monster.
So this is basically where we're
This is your boy, Deep Thought, thanking you personally for joining us.
Forced to make a decision of where we want to expand to. Problem is, if we go down this way, we take our people farther and farther away from the industry. Ah, we got the gazebos. Wonderful. Thank you. We can clean up this park a little bit. Because this is really... Yes. Goodbye. We'll put in all the cafes and info booths again later. But first I just want to basically redo the original concept. Or get back to the original concept exactly. Now we have those plazas. What do we got there? That's restroom right next to the plaza, exactly. Now we'll add that cafe back in, just across, and an info booth. There was never a question whether or not these were going to come back. And now we can start working with these beautiful little gazebos. Already up to 554 out of the 720 we need. So we'll just add a few more. That was always the plan anyway. How much entertainment do these bring? 60. Only 573, 558, probably too monotonous or something like that. We can change that. I'll take those out and see what happens if I replace them with red ones. That doesn't immediately improve the value. Or I'll just add some red ones on the side, exactly. Just turn this into gazebo park, so to speak. Maybe we'll even add another plaza in over here. Let's look at what the value is. Yeah, boom, that went right through. And of course the houses around it are going to upgrade now, or some of them are because it has a higher entertainment value. And that chirp actually brings up a good point. We're going to eventually start plopping in some trees for noise reduction. That's also going to be a switch, a bit of a shock for me, not working with the Mr. Miyagi tree sets. Because he really has some not Mr. Miyagi, I'm sorry, Mr. Maison. My mistake. Because he really has some beautiful tree sets. I'm actually starting to dislike a little bit the way this is turning out. But then again, it is inevitable that you start using high density. You know what? We'll put another little residential cul-de-sac out over here. Where are the roads? There are the roads. In fact, we'll connect it on this side. Oh, we can't connect it on... Yeah, we can. No, we can't. There we go. You know, just so that fishermen have somewhere to live that's not 10,000 miles away from where they work. Help the commercial area in general a little bit with workforce generation. Is it worth doing that up here as well? Let me see. If I put a road in here, I can get something. I can get some out of this. Not much, but enough. Yeah. Oh, some of those people tore their houses down. That, of course, was not what we wanted. But I think this will work. Ouch. I really did not want to destroy that many houses. That was not the plan. I actually thought that was going to work a little bit more seamlessly. But apparently the zoning of this road took priority. In fact, you know what? This will also be high density. Just these chunks immediately next to the commercial zone. I think I'll do the same down here. Again, sorry your real estate developers were not aware of city planning, but in their defense, city planning was not aware of city planning. Let's get some people down in here. Also, yeah, exactly, that'll also help keep the little bit of high density that's down in here from stagnating. Oh, that's becoming ugly. And that's not going to improve when these people start moving in from here. That is a prime candidate for a 4-lane road, at least coming in one direction. Because this is definitely becoming somewhat of a main drag. I'm not sure it's actually going to solve the problem, but... Is there no name here? There's the name. Ixnay on the light say. Let's see if that doesn't give us more throughput. It looks to be improving the situation. I'm not sure. Yeah, that side seems to be flowing. What's the story? Yeah, and this side is also flowing. So that was the fix we needed. We're gonna have to start adding pedestrian crossings. 1 second. There's some interesting noise here. Ah, just the neighbor above. Can't believe I can actually hear that through my headset. And we still have this big open space that we can work with. But I think residency-wise, we're slowly sorting ourselves. What's the next milestone? Oh, hit
Can
that
you
one
hear
too.
it? Listen
Wow.
closely. It's the sound of refreshment.
Ah,
Soda
that's right. That's
refreshment.
what I wanted to
Pop soda. Belch the best.
start reconsidering. Was whether it was the whole
Hey there, friends. Today I've been thinking about weather. That cozy feeling you get when the world outside is softened by rain, and all the sounds just blur together under the gentle drumming of the clouds.
come on.
That's what we're all about here at the deep
Need it out
forest
here where
channel.
there's actually
But
water.
you know, sometimes you can get lost in that kind of world. Stay inside and hide from the gray skies. To all of you out there caught in the rain, remember, you'll
And
have
of
fresh
course
rain
that sucks
before too long.
in some more and lowers the overall water level. Not something we're not used to, which is why we do this. Just to make sure. Because that way it's the water just pools in front of these, meaning that even if it does, the level does go back a little bit, there's still going to be more than enough water underneath them for them to keep providing us with drinky. And you can actually see that the water actually flows towards these, so these do actually have quite a bit of sucking power. There are YouTube videos out there from people that have literally used these things to like dry up the ocean, which is of course pointless, but yeah, you can do it if you want to. So, and then we'll add another water treatment plant. Just keep pumping our sewage into the ground. It's nice that I'm managing that this is all getting consolidated up here though, where it's not causing. Oh, is there an ebb and tide here somewhere in some shape or form, or is that just weird physics? Because every so often it looks for like half a second that, like, they're drying up. But I don't actually see a significant problem. Out here it's a bit of an issue with inflow. Okay, so we'll just kind of create a little channel. And it's all soil that we can use later, so it's not necessarily a problem. So I do not see any way that these can run out of water now anymore. Yeah, we're about to find out. No, I think that's going to work just fine. Exactly, we wanted to take another look at our fishing industry, see if we can't upgrade something there reasonably. Oh yes, we can upgrade quite a few things. Seaweed farm, algae farm. Ah, you have to farm fish to get... Okay, so then I guess that means that this is where we're going to start putting in fish farms then. What's the issue here? Space already occupied. See if we can't run a straight key over there. Not a flood wall. Exactly, just make the bend less evil. And now we should be able to plop another fish farm or two. One. One is more than 0, so we're good. Exactly, and these have different growth stages. And at 5 they harvest, if I remember right. It's gonna take a while for this, for the fish farming to go and run its course. Can we see a change during the different growth stages? Or does it all just look the same? I would expect to see it like fill up with fish, but okay, that's admittedly just like a minor detail. Exactly, and then we'll add some more, a little bit more residential back in here. Maybe that chunk there and that chunk there. In fact, we'll go for residential here as well. And the rest will turn into low density commercial or more residential, depending on how intelligent I am with my mouse. Because they're complaining they need more commercial space anyway, so yeah, why not do them the favor? It fits into our plan. And we're now a big city. What other cool things do we get? Okay, we get the liberal arts college, we get the water treatment plant, the advanced inland water treatment plant. Nothing really major except for the crematoriums. This is probably also more or less the point where we're going to want to start building those. Because I get a feeling our cemetery is probably... Yeah. This is a very, very good time to start building crematoriums. So, where would those make sense so that we can pick up all the dead people? Basically, just put one like in every quarter, so to speak. That generally works out pretty well in my experience. I should now have crematories and put one here off the edge. Yeah, put one right here off the end of that high density section. And I think we should be sorted for death care now. Crematorium availability, 525 capacity. That should work. 29 people dying a week. Yeah, if I don't poison my water supply, we should get by. We may even... In fact, we now have enough processing that we can probably empty this. Let's see what happens. And we can, of course, once again hear the constant pings of upgrading. Yeah, some new parks. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Some of these people are going to be a little bit strapped for leisure. And put in a large playground over here, for example. Even adults like playgrounds. Park with trees is going to be a problem unless we sacrifice a little bit of commercial area, which isn't really a bad thing, because they can use a park too. In fact, I'll put another one up here. And then just put another small park somewhere, like maybe in here. Wherever I can fit it. So put a carousel in here, see if that doesn't already solve it. Although they are pretty red. Ah, much better. Much better. Ah, you know what? Come on. Put a little... Do we have a small park? Maybe for the industrial area. It's not really an essential thing. But it's still not a bad idea. What? Ah, that's a pop soda billboard. I thought that was a red marker of some form. We actually have no problem markers for a change. Just upgrades. I see sick people. Why do I see sick people? As soon as I say no problems. Because the ground is polluted? What? There's my pollution. That's noise pollution, and that, I could understand noise pollution, but ground pollution? Because there's a recycling center right here. Ah, we need to move that. We need to move that. I am so sorry, people. I totally forgot there was a recycling center there. That should sort you relatively fast, I think. In fact, we'll just de-zone those. Exactly, that way we can build bigger. Oh, damn, that was... We've got another marker right here. Citizens are sick. Also ground pollution, right? Yeah. Again, that's going to go back to ground pollution. That's going to change over a little bit of time. But it doesn't appear to be changing. Ah, yes, it is. It's changing fast enough. It's going back. Unfortunately, it's also going up right here next to the park, which is something I didn't think about when I dropped this in. So let's just move this over just a hair more. Otherwise, yeah, you can already see. Otherwise, you get these dying trees. I actually used to do that every so often, just for shits and giggles. It's put roads with trees in industrial areas and other areas of high pollution. It's just you get these stalks where the trees are just dead. Yeah, like this, exactly. This is what a park looks like in an industrial area. So this is basically why you don't normally put them in industrial areas. Here's our other beautiful park. Maybe we should have gone for a bouncy castle instead. Yeah, we need to take that out. That just looks disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Anybody had to look at that ever. Yeah, now put something in there that makes sense, please. And yeah, we don't have to get rid of this, but we do need to move it. This is somewhere where it just is a little bit more out of the way of the pollution. And the trees have a chance to be trees. And you can actually, it's nice that you can actually see the delineation between the pollution and where it's normal again, so that kind of gives you a good idea of where it's a good idea to set up offices. Just to keep all of that out of all of this. Oh, park upgraded again. That is cute. We made a 4-star park out of this somehow. But I get a feeling we're not gonna hit 5. That's almost gonna be impossible, probably. But it was never part of the plan. So, city park. But we'll definitely pop in a climbing frame for the kids. In fact, how much does that climbing frame actually bring? Oh, Dude, if I had 2 of those, I could probably actually get a level 5 park out of this. Parks, climbing ramp. Yeah, we can totally get a level 5 park out of this. So we'll just build 1 extra, knowing that it'll knock out either a road or a gazebo. No, you know what? We won't. We'll just put in 2 more gazebos and be done with it. Because that is actually a nice... A few more gazebos than you would probably normally see in a city park, but... Oh, you're kidding me, right? We'll just add another 2 in green. Come on, this has got to put us over that level. Yeah, thank you. And when this hits 5, then we'll just tear some of this stuff out. Yeah. Oh, this will work. We need another 10,000 visitors anyway. It's going to take forever. Animal ethics advertising campaign. Well, this is actually our main park, so we may as well. $50 a week we can definitely live with. And what's the story on the cemetery? Oh, dang it. It's already half empty. More than half empty. It was almost full when we started. What comes next then? Grand City at 17,000. I'm fairly certain we're gonna have to buy more land by then. But overall, it still looks to be flowing reasonably well, the traffic. No major malfunctions. That junction is a bit of an issue, but nothing deadly. What about down here, where we had that other point?
With yakisoba, the noodle
Also
masters.
still heavily
No
used,
matter
but
what
not
stage of life you're in,
congested.
we have the perfect noodles for you. From birthday noodles to wedding noodles, all the way to those most
I'm actually a bit
final
surprised that traffic
noodles.
is flowing this well, even
Every
though
occasion
we're
has a
still a
noodle like
relatively small
yakisoba,
city, just
so
because I haven't
experience something
done
different.
vanilla in quite a while.
It literally means
But
fried
this is
noodles.
just working beautifully.
It's Super Salmon Days down at Fish Brothers. For a limited time, bring in any fish and get a chilled salmon entree free. You heard right. Bring in any fish and get a free chilled salmon entree. And I mean any fish. Got a swordfish lying around? Bring it in. Got a goldfish you're sick of feeding? Bring it in. Got a fish that's been sitting in the sun for a few days? Bring it in. We'll throw it in with the rest of them. What we do with the fish is nobody's business but ours. Just enjoy your salmon, $8.99 with our famous stew. So, welcome on into Fish Brothers Seafood Themed Restaurant, where everything's a great catch. Except the shrimp.
The radio waves are my canvas and music is my pigment. This is Deep Thought with the Deep Focus channel.
Oh, wait a sec. Why is that a one-way road? That was never intended to be a one-way. I wonder if that's going to improve or screw everything. I'm going to say it should be an improvement. This is actually really minor, the change. I'm not sure that was an improvement. Hmm. You know what? But then they're coming. Okay, but then they're coming from the other side of the road. The question is, will that make that much of a difference? It won't cause any change to the traffic here. That's something we're just gonna have to live with. I'm considering whether we want to run a road from here over to here, just to keep this traffic, at least all the fish that are headed over here to Zoidberg's Anchovies, like this guy, and $20 says this guy. No, he's exporting. But there's not actually that much headed over to Zoidberg's, but it would still be a way. Yeah, we're still gonna do that, and we're actually going to run underground. And so we're gonna take an industry road because we don't, those are just cheap. See if that doesn't... Yeah, that's right. If nothing else, it gives them a fast way to come back. So that's not bad either. Yeah, exactly. It might end up being used in the opposite direction more, but as long as it's being used at all, it's still a plus. And that does appear to be the case. So, are we getting any power loss issues? No, so we can actually get rid of those lines. Ah, those are from when I started the fishing industry. I remember now, yeah. Oh, and that seems to have taken at least some amount of traffic out of this intersection. That's nice. And you know what? If you want to go straight off to the highway, don't even bother with that intersection. But just pop off right here, please. And exactly, we'll make that section a 2-lane. Just so road mathematics doesn't get in our way. And that should work nicely. Exactly, anything that wants to go off to the highway is just completely bypassing that intersection and just jumping straight off here. Much nicer. In fact, it may be worth considering. Nah, if I do that, then no, that won't work. I was considering maybe making this a one-way road in that direction, but then that takes away their access to the commercial zone. Oh, but this road is actually running with not so little traffic. That's actually, it appears to have been a good idea. Yeah, and they're coming up from this side to bring Zoidberg his fish too, and not blocking this. intersection. And there's less going on here, it appears too. We've definitely kept our 93%, but yeah, these have gone down in redness. Overall, it does appear to be working. Here we're getting problems with workers again. Not enough workers. 7 jobs available. What's going on down there? Worker education was too low. You know what? We can actually... I'm sorry for you people that live down here, but we're actually going to... Well, not here. Here you can keep your low density housing. But this is all going to be higher density now. Again, one, because we need a few more people, and it is close enough to the commercial zone that it's actually worth it to make that high density. So, and now that should also... They should be tearing down their houses, and some new high-density residential should end up going in there. Giving us like this little demarcation line, so to speak. Actually doesn't look too bad. Well, what we'll do, we'll add in a nice large park here again. Park with trees was the big one, right? Yeah, that's too big though, so... Just to use that space a little bit more sensibly. Yeah, I think this is overall working nicely. Exactly. What's the story on the fish farm? Can I see that here? No, I can't. But we can definitely check here. Oh, we're at half of the fish we need for the algae farm. 3 million fish for the seaweed farm. That's gonna take a few minutes. That's right. And what we wanted to do before, we wanted to put in some sort of an attraction for tourists. We can just put in a boat museum down here. What's that? Chirpex launched. We need population for that now. Maybe a winter market next to the fish market. That's not going to work as well as I hoped. A temple complex. This is probably something from the new DLC. Traffic park? I will put a traffic park in here. Yeah, why not? Can I build more than one of those? No. Not to say. That would have been surprising. Yeah, that's actually nice. You've got the road maintenance over here. They worry about the traffic park as well. And then next to it is the fish market, where mom and dad can go shopping. And just dump your kid. Come in with the bus, dump your kids here. And go shopping. We don't need high density here. We do need commercial, but not high density. Nope, 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 nope. You just want these to be like some small corner shops or whatever happens to fit in nicely next to the fish market, the traffic park.
At Banhammer Bank, we want you to trust us with your money. Because it's with your money that we can make you more money. How? It's not funny business, it's money business. You give
11
your money
tourists
to us,
already.
and it will grow with interest. That's the plan.
Been there for what?
Maybe that's
3
too
minutes?
complicated for you. Imagine planting a money tree in the ground and watering it. Hold on. Imagine if you had a money pet.
Exactly.
And you fed it more money,
Some
and
little
after
convenience
digesting it,
stores, a quiet corner shop.
Okay.
That's
you
what we
want
were
to go money
thinking.
fishing, so you use a little money to catch a big money. You know, just come in and talk to us. We have even more metaphors that allow us to avoid saying what we really do with your money. Banhammer Bank. Feed the money monster.
Saddle up in the mornings with Jimmy
Not
and the
really
Stallion.
anything.
The only morning show featuring DJ Jimmy Fries
Fan
and a
zone.
4-year-old
Oh yeah, this is
quarter
the
horse named
concerts
Clover.
DLC. That's right.
This is Jimmy Fries coming to you from Studio 2. Whoa, whoa! Looks like someone's horsing around. Okay. Easy, boy.
They'll play your favorite hits, give out great prizes, and laugh their way through your commute.
I think I'll
Jimmy
actually
and the
just
Stallion.
leave that with
Stable
only the
entertainment
traffic
only
park
on
for
Cities
now.
Radio.
Leave that as its own little complex over there. That incineration plant does.
Hey
It's
there,
just a
friends.
huge
Today
thing,
I've
though.
been thinking about weather. That cozy feeling you get when the world outside is softened by rain.
Oh yeah, that is definitely sorted. That is not going to be a problem in the future.
That's what we're all about here at the Deep Focus channel. But you know, sometimes you can get lost in that
Exactly, fish are being
Stay
farmed.
inside and hide
Zoidberg
from
is
the
doing
skies. To all
still
of you out there
80,000 a
caught in the
week.
rain, remember,
What's with the
you're on fresh
warehouse?
breath
That
from the
warehouse
food tube.
is completely filled. I wonder, do I have room for a larger warehouse? I'm not actually a fan of the large warehouse just because of its completely over the top size. But I mean, what we have now is a warehouse yard that gives us 100,000. A small warehouse would give us 250, and this I think gives us 400. And exactly, and the footprint in that direction is the same. You know what? We're gonna see. Yeah, we can live with destroying the collected resources if we can get that medium warehouse in here. Yes, we can. So. Garments limited, not enough workers, the usual issues. Not enough people. So, let this run, grab a sip of beer. still actually considering whether we don't want to turn this just into a super massive park in the long term. And I think we will. So, you know what? We may actually be able to access that train line with only one. Yes, we can. Then we will definitely purchase this. And hooking up to this train line will then be something we can do tomorrow. This train line goes in at least 2 directions out. But if we're going to do that, then this is really the point where we need... Oh, wait a second. Is there a train intercity bus hub? Ferry and bus exchange, multi-platform train. That's obviously pointless at this point. Maybe in the long term. Train metro, metro intercity bus. Well, I mean, we could slowly but surely start thinking about installing a metro. Bus to intercity bus, bus to metro, metro to intercity bus. So there is no train to intercity bus hub, which kind of makes sense because those are both connections that are coming from outside, so there's no real point in connecting them to each. What is this? Oh, new symbol for the train line. Okay. Okay, do we still have anything in the way of airfields? No, we do not. Helicopter Ah, that's right. You can get helicopter lines now, which are actually pretty cool. I remember a map. I just had to think about something from a video from where Biffa was previewing the new content, and what he did, he set up a helicopter line, and the first thing that happened was that he had a helicopter jam because he just sent out way too many helicopters. And I actually did the same thing a few months ago with blimps. I had an 81 tile map, I had outlying communities, and I figured, well, we'll just put blimps for the outlying communities, and I ended up with like this line of like 150 blimps, and the depot was still pumping out blimps. So it was, yeah, that I know the problem. I've pooched that myself. So, just out of curiosity, we're getting 100 people per week already using the whatchamacallit, the intercity bus lines. So those are apparently at least minorly attractive. I'm just really not sure if I want to start screwing around with large-scale public transport already. The train station, of course, that's definitely something we're going to want. In fact, that's something the industry is. That's something basically everybody's going to want. That train line is basically. I think that's the only train line we have, or. Yes and no. It's actually 2 outside connections merging in. Is it 2 outside connections? What is that? That little train about there. Can I get a closer view of that? Not really. It appeared to be a rock formation, something like that. But that does appear to be the same train line. In fact, wait a sec. Can I? Yeah, I can see that in here. Dumbass. So that's one train line that goes out that way. There's a second one that goes out that way. And if I'm not completely off, there's a third line that comes out from here. There appears to be a second train line. What's exactly, while we're looking at it, what's the story on highways? That's one highway coming from there, one from there, which is the main one we already connect to. And there's a third one coming from over here. I'm wondering whether or not we want to maybe already just completely expand to our full 9 tiles. I don't think we can actually do that yet. Now that I think about it, I think we need another, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we need 4 more milestones to expand completely. So we can buy 4 tiles. 3 actually now. Again, we're definitely going to want this whole island, but I do want access to that train line, and ideally to that highway. Question is, do we take that train line now and drag it over here? You know, we could do that. Put in a train and metro hub? You know what, that's what we're gonna do. We don't have metro yet, but we are eventually going to use it. I may even use above ground metro just for shits and giggles. But where do we want to put that then? Ideally it needs to be connected to this area somehow, and of course to this area. We want that to be preferably in the center of our commercial zones. Train to metro hub. We don't want we could of course use a multi-platform station, but we don't really want to do that. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. This is exactly what we wanted. And just hook it up right there, yeah? Is this really going to be that easy? Surprisingly, yes. Although we may have a problem getting the... Yeah, that's going to be a huge issue getting the... suction. The train tracks under that, so we're going to have to move this by at least an inch or so. We definitely want to keep the current angle. That lining up, that's lining up. We just want enough space that we can definitely get the tracks back in there. That's almost too much space. We only want to bury the tracks. We don't want to go completely nuts. And so then we will reconnect that then also with the same 4-lane road. Of course, this can all be commercial area, most certainly. In fact, we could probably even do high density, but we'll leave it at low. This is not going to be commercial area for long, though. Just noticed that. That's going to be train tracks very soon. Train. No. We want to go down. Exactly, causing ideally as little. Seriously, slope too steep? Went down too fast. Okay. No. We want to connect up here. That's much better. Later, we'll eventually move these tracks anyway. Ooh, that actually doesn't look too bad. Later, we'll eventually wind up moving these train tracks anyway when we expand to here and add a second station. Then we'll probably just pull them over a little bit. But now we have intercity trains. And that train and metro hub does actually look really, really nice. In fact, I'll take that 4-lane and extend that out over to here as well. Do we have? No, we don't. Oh, that's nice. That looks nice in there, yeah. Oh, I used the 4-lane with grass. Oh, that's not a bad issue. That's not a problem. Although if I zone commercial in here, I'll probably get a problem real fast. That being, we don't have enough people. Let's find out. I just want to see the first train come in. And then I'll be happy. When someone actually comes in by train. Just to know that I didn't build this for absolutely no reason. And of course, as soon as I go away from this, there's probably going to be a train running in. "73 people on there. So 73 people came out, and 0 left. 0 people wanting to go to Canville. Now the question is, how much will this inundate our traffic? Well, it probably won't do that much, but what we could definitely do, just to make sure is the same thing just about every other city on Earth does. Make sure there's a freaking taxi stand next to your train station. Because that can actually help quite a bit with people getting into their own cars and stuff like that. But that station does look really nice. Nice and modern, lots of glass. And ironically, it also looks like it's made to optically fit with these solar updraft plants. So that's kind of cute too. I get a feeling a lot of these businesses are probably not going to be there in the long term, because this is basically going to be an end station for the trains. I mean, it's at this point, it's going to be an end station. Maybe in the long term, it's a through station. So what's the story on some of our touristy stuff? 25 tourists. Maybe we can put something. Drive-in restaurant, Oriental market, noodle restaurant, ramen restaurant, local register office, district office building. Is there no zoning available? There's no zoning available on this side. Probably because of the trap. It's a good question. Why is there no zoning on that available on that side? It's a normal road. Curious. Nah, doesn't matter. Not right now, anyway. Oh, we got another train. Where's it going to? And how many people are in there? 3 people are leaving, going to Santa Rica. Goodbye. Don't come back. No, I'm kidding. Come back, please. We want your tax money.
Colossal Ore. We are the leading producer of minerals, ore, and natural resources, which means you're benefiting from our services whether you know us or not. No matter what our critics say, at Colossal we care about our
Still trying to
employees,
figure
as
out what
well
to
as
do
our
with this
customers,
area.
Which is why we work so hard to
But
get our miners
I
back
don't want to
in the
block off
mines
this
where
edge
they
of the
feel at
this end of
home.
the train line
Together,
either,
we can
because I get a
reunite
strange feeling
minerals
I'm
with
going to end
people
up
who love
putting
them.
something
Colossal Ore. More
out
than
here
ore.
somewhere that's eventually going to say, you need to extend this train line. But
This is your boy,
oh,
Deep
you know
Fawn,
what I could
thanking you
do? I
personally
could
for
put like a
joining us
clock
at the Deep
tower.
Focus channel.
If I have that, I'm sure I have that already. Well, we already have the level 6 unique buildings opened up. That surprises me a bit. Yeah, that's going a little bit too far, I think. But that clock tower, if we could find it, that would be... Yeah, and it's right across from the taxi stand as well. Ah, but it's right in the way of the metro tracks. Ah, but not here. Here it'll work just fine. Oh yeah, that works nicely. That works nicely. The solar updraft towers just kind of dominate the skyline right now, but And of course the new Japanese waste processing facility does its part as well. Putting Big Ben or whatever that's supposed to be right there, that's not a bad idea, I think. Especially near the train stations where people are concerned about time anyway. And I think it's time to upgrade to the intercity, to the intercity bus hub. Intercity bus terminal uses coaches, but the bus terminal requires a highway. Doesn't require, but it allows the placement of regular bus stops on the bays. So that basically is your intercity bus terminal. But I know there was also an actual intercity bus hub in some form. That was the train. Metro intercity bus intercity bus. Oh Jesus. That thing is huge. How about Metro intercity bus? I think that'll probably be a better choice. And that would fit. I mean, obviously the next Metro stop is really, really close, so that's kind of a fail, but I do actually think this would be a good idea. So, then again, the Metro right there, and you've got that. Okay, I can move that up, obviously, above ground. But I mean, that micro short Metro connection, that's almost not even worth it. But then again, when we come around, I may even end up with 2 Metro lines, now that I think about it. I'll pause a little bit on that. We'll think about that a little bit longer. What to improve, how to improve it. I mean, we're getting demand for everything, but if I expand commercial now without going residential, then we'll probably just get lots of empty commercial buildings again. I mean, we do have medium demand for just about everything, actually, so I could probably build anything and it wouldn't really have an adverse impact. But I don't want to fall into that trap of I'll just build anything. And I would still kind of like to take that main highway and do something with that. Again, the idea I have, maybe somebody else has a better idea, is to take this highway and just basically pull it all the way over to here. And then... But then if I connect... Yeah, and then we become... Oh, and then we become the through point for all of that traffic that would otherwise be going out around there. I'm not sure we really want to do that. But if we take that highway and just extend it up to there without connecting, that would work. What's a story on natural resources? What industries can we put over here? Can we even put a reasonable sort of industry over here? Farming and forestry. Although not much. There really isn't that much fertile land on this map, is my impression. Although some of it is, of course, also going to be because of the trees. The trees, yeah, fertile land that's occupied by trees is farming land. Is forestry land. Hmm. What's the story on our industries? On our fishing specifically? We have the algae farm. Let's just put that up here. If we can. So now, we've also got a little algae farm out here. And I think I may just provisionally already drag this under the highway. I think we might be able to get a few more fish farms on there. No water for the fish farms. Well, that's obviously not something we can't solve. And you know what, just to make sure, I don't think there's any possibility that I'll ever build anything in there, but just to make sure. Oh, but that actually makes that whole tunnel unnecessary. So we can actually delete that. And then maybe use that bit of land right here. Maybe for another water treatment facility when we need it. Because, yeah, that sword is also eventually coming. Maybe now see if we can drop in another. Ah, that's right. They come with their own roads. I keep forgetting that. But if I take out that road, I can definitely put another one in. So exactly, now we'll see. We can still fit another one in here, right? Yeah. Oh god, that doesn't really look nice, but it'll work. Oh, no it won't. Well, you know what, maybe we'll key this up instead. See if we can't find a more effective solution. I think that'll work better, yeah. Let's see if it does. Because at least theoretically that should give me, if nothing else, a constant height. And that gives me another problem. That being that we can't actually get anything in there. So if I want to put 2 in here, we're basically going to have to eventually either use Anarchy or a Move It mod. Then we'll just go with 1. Put it right here in the middle. And connect it up. And that is now also our bypass road for the traffic that wants to come over here. And if that all worked, then I should be able to do that without destroying everything. And then we can get finally start to get something like a reasonable traffic concept running up here. This is overall working pretty well. We may need a 4-lane here. In fact, we probably need a 4-lane here, although it's not actually that much traffic on this connection, interestingly enough. What's the traffic overall like? Well, we're still at 91%. That's heavily used, but that's okay. Still no major malfunctions. Still working out reasonably well. What's that do? 25 tourists last week, 48 tourists last week, 0 tourists last week. Our famous fish market? Interesting. 72 people came with buses, 70 people came or left with trains. The numbers are getting where they need to be, slowly but surely. I'm still thinking, how do we want to expand? Although, to be honest, this is probably a good time to just make sure everything still stays up and running tomorrow. Yeah. Why did I get a feeling that was going to be an issue? We need more garbage processing, and we don't have the room. Well, you know what? We're going to buy that tile eventually. Anyway, probably for salmon farming, if nothing else. So we'll just pick it up now. And then I can drop in another garbage facility up here and in fact, you know what? I'll put another 2 in, just make that big garbage row. That means I can dump that one completely because we just replaced it. What's the story on water exactly? I figure while I'm already at it, when we're already screwing things up, may as well add another water treatment facility and another one of those delicious intakes. Of course, we want, once again, to make sure that intake actually gets water, so goodbye land. And you can see that immediately dipped away. Although that was also because of the terraforming and not so much necessarily because of the intake. But yeah, you can see the way water rushes in here. And that's good. That's the whole reason we put it up, we set it up this way, is so the water will rush in here so that these don't end up running dry and becoming, well, yeah, pointless. As far as being pointless goes, let's make sure that one isn't either. That was pointless. But now we should be set for garbage, at least for a little bit. You know what? We'll actually drop in a fourth. Oh, come on. You're kidding, right? Slope too steep? Okay, then we'll level that out a little bit. Do a little bit more landscaping. I need a larger brush. That should work. Boom, problem solved. So that should be garbage, water, and power. Sorted for the foreseeable future. Although, yeah, exactly. Now that we have this, we can take a quick look at the viability of a hydroelectric plant, which I believe will be very low. Oh, could work here though. Could work really nicely in here. Oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna buy that tile. Oh, this is a huge, beautiful map. I think I will install the 81 tiles mod before we continue, just so that we can really expand to wherever we want. This is awesome. Wow. And let's see what we can do with a hydro now, because we can theoretically dam it up to what height? Around that height is where it's going to start causing us other issues.
We all want to be prepared.
Yeah, so this
we all
line.
want to be sure that
We
the
want to
people
stay
we
on
leave
this
behind
line.
don't think we're jerks. That's where final insurance comes in. We provide peace of mind for when you rest in peace. For a small monthly sum, you can spend your final years
32
knowing that
megawatts?
Final
Are you
Insurance
kidding?
has everything
That's a
taken
joke.
care of. Final Insurance, the last insurance you'll
If I
ever
build it
need.
over here, can I
You
build
want
it
money
over
for
here?
nothing? Yeah, you do. What's the catch? There is one.
64
Anyone who wants
megawatts
it can
for
have it. You just have to ask
$190,000.
for it. Our 3-day sleepaway camp is the perfect place to strike it rich. Who are we? Well, we're the #1 dream
That
makers in
is
the
really-
region. And you are a motivated, driven, confident
nice
individual
place to
who has a
build a
desire
dam.
to make it big. Run!
just have to
Don't walk.
expand it
Get your heart
probably a
rate
little
above
bit.
120. This is exciting. This offer is just for you because
Where's
you
the
deserve
height?
it. Come alone.
That's
So
our
don't
height
wait. The early
marker.
bird catches the worm, and the worm is a bus at 143 Industrial Way that leaves at dawn. So grab destiny by the horns. Go on, grab it. It's yours for the taking. Money for nothing.
What's up, y'all? It's your host, Thought, coming back at
You know what?
with
We'll
the
just
thought of the
plop
day.
that in there.
Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, pause for a second.
And terraform
Take in your
behind it.
surroundings. You can't stop to savor every moment, but if you're not careful, the days
Not
will slip
leveling, of
past
course,
before
but
you
just
even
lowering.
realize. Gather yourself in this moment and let the feeling be sweeter still, along with the sounds of the deep focus channel.
Just allow this some room. To actually build up some water pressure. That's all going to get filled with water, of course. And the clue here is that we actually want to dig like a huge deep hole right after, because then the difference in water height is there, because that's actually what makes a dam work, is the difference in water height. And now we're building artificial. I need a place to dump this. Just randomly slightly raise everything over here. Just get rid of the soil over a large area. So, thank you. And we can cut away some more here. Cut away some more here. And create ourselves, hopefully, a properly working dam. Of course, that's going to completely dry out the river at first. And then it's just a question of how long it takes to fill up and how much power it winds up generating. This is going to take a few minutes. A good time to slowly but surely prepare for the end of the stream for today. Really interesting to see how much we get out of this, because this is really just a small dam. It's starting to fill up, and we're getting there's like 128 megawatts there quick. Let's see how much we get when it actually starts working. It may not actually ever start working. We may be too high, but I don't think we are. No, it's hitting the level. $64 megawatts, that's not really that much. $80 megawatts, that's a little bit better. You know what? I'm gonna landscape away some more behind it. Obviously not enough to overflow it on the side. That's the last thing we want. But enough to make sure it's nice and deep here. Immediately before the dam And of course we once again have too much soil. So, big brush. Get rid of it. Again, just drop the soil over the largest possible area just to get rid of it. So, and now what's the story here? 64 megawatts. So what we need to do is reduce the height there. Because that's what's giving us such a high water level over here. Reduce this size a little bit. We don't want to dry up these streams. $96 megawatts. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more out of it. So we could take the bigger brush again. Here we need the smaller one again, so that we can refill this little stream. Still only 96 megawatts out of it. Do I need to add some more land here in the back, maybe? Or maybe it's just too small. That, of course, is going to cause some flooding. I'd like to get that to be the water height, in the hopes that that is going to give us more power out of this. So this whole area is probably going to be like 100 yards higher than it was when it originally started. I just noticed I can actually increase the brush intensity a little bit, and that'll speed things up a little bit. So So did we get any? Yeah, we got it up to 128, 144. Okay, that's an improvement. Not massive. I basically would have been better off if I just would have left the solar updraft towers. So I think I may risk some minor flooding and actually tear that back out. It was a nice try, but not really worth the upkeep. Let's see how this river flows now. Did we completely screw that up? Or nice thing is it's not going to be a huge flood. It's just this little stream that got a little bit too powerful now. Again, flooding in our city should be minimal. It's just this little mini tsunami wave that's going to... Yeah, it's going to come over, rolling over here a little bit, not too much. It's going to come down here, probably cause some minor flooding here. No, it's actually probably not going to have any effect at all. We'll just watch it roll down. And while we're at it, we'll fix the landscape here a little bit. So I don't have enough soil now to build that up. Now that's hilarious. It's one of the reasons I generally use the unlimited soil mod. It's just makes things like this just that much easier. Not constantly trying to figure out where you drop soil that you need again. Close that up a little bit. And that should be more or less the way it was before. Okay, it looks a little different now, but it still works. And what's the story on that wave, the flooding? No issues. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we tried to build a dam and it was not a good idea. Oh, that's right. We get the traffic issues again when we turn this into a one-way road. I'm gonna run into that a few times. That's gonna be a recurring theme that these guys every so often don't get trashed because the city planners are freaking dumbasses. Come on, garbage trucks, get over there, do your job. But at 16,000 people, I think the traffic is still overall going to be manageable. Those industry buildings there may not be a good idea. Well, although it doesn't seem to be that much of an issue. Let's see what the traffic's like. We still have 90% for somebody's watching me. Somebody is watching us to make sure that this city does not completely tank on and of course, as soon as I said it, we wind up at 87, 86. Okay, yeah, we're definitely going to have to take a better look at how we manage our traffic tomorrow before this becomes a major issue. This intersection is definitely a problem. But why is it a problem? That's always the real question. Okay. That kind of says everything, just that one click on that one road. You've got the people with their privately owned vehicles trying to come into that area. Some of them trying to come in over here. I'm not really sure why. Also, they're probably coming back from work. Yeah, that definitely is something we're gonna have to take a look at tomorrow. In fact, wait a second. I think there should be enough room there to turn that into a 4-lane, and maybe that will already solve the problem. Do we have 4-lane industry? I mean, this is, after all, an industrial area, and that'll work. Okay, let's see what happens. Obviously, it knocks a little chunk of industry out that was next to Zoidberg's anchovies, but we can live with that. If it solves the traffic issues. And of course, it adds 2 traffic lights, which we definitely want to get rid of. You get out, and there already is no light there. Okay. Is that an improvement? I'm tending towards no. Because now we're getting the people backing up on the highway. It's all because of this little connection here. That really needs to go. Yeah, boom.
Square Packages, the packaging specialists, are proud to present a box on both your houses. The untold story.
And now,
of
of
the
course, we
invention
get
of the box
congestion here.
and the family rivalry that
Because
nearly
there's just
destroyed it.
too many
It's
people.
a tale about opening your heart, finding acceptance, and inventing the most efficient means of shipping and packaging that mankind has ever known. Proving that to find what's in your soul, you have to look outside the box. And in
But it does seem to have
your home. And that truly is
solved the
greatest box
overall
of all.
issue.
Tune in every Wednesday at 8 for this once-in-a-week time television event, A Box on Both Your Houses, presented by Square Packages.
To the
the
point where I
packaging
could probably
specialists.
even put a 2-lane road back in there again.
The wait is over. It's finally here. Friday night chili bowling
So,
at Andy's Bowling Alley.
sorry
Every
again,
Friday night, anyone who
dear
buys
real
at least
estate
2
agents.
games of bowling gets a free bowl of chili. So don't wait. Book a lane now.
Don't have better
Due to recent
connections
incidents,
to
the chili
the
will only be
slightly screwed up
distributed at
city
the end of
planning.
your visit. That way you can enjoy it wherever you want. In a park, at home, or on a construction site. In the meantime, you'll have all the fun that bowling
And
can
I
provide.
think with that,
So come on back and be reminded that you're not actually that good at
we'll
bowling.
end for
Andy's
today.
Bowling
We do
Alley.
have a workforce problem here coming up, which means we'll likely have a workforce
If
problem
you're
coming
looking
up
for that
here as
relaxed
well.
vibe, search no further.
But we now
I'm
have
Deep
room,
Thought, and this is the Deep Focus channel.
possibly more than we currently want. We have connection to a rail line. We have intercity buses now, which appear to be doing quite well. So overall, we're growing. Today was a bit slower than yesterday, but that was to be expected. And yeah. This is Zerb, signing off from Fishburg. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, like and subscribe if you did. And if you have any suggestions for the next video, please feel free to leave a comment. Have a wonderful evening. Stay healthy. And stay safe. Cheers.